In the morning when I'm driving, I really come alive when I listen to my Ronnie, I listen to my RonyiQ. They are rare and they are few who can compare with RonyiQ. So grab a chair, she's coming through. She's on the air, it's time for RonyiQ. They are rare and they are few who can compare with RonyiQ. So grab a chair, she's coming through. She's on the air, it's time for RonyiQ. RonyiQ. It's time for RonyiQ. RonyiQ. It's time for RonyiQ. In the morning while I'm driving, Ronnie, I really come alive when it's time for RonyiQ. I listen to my Ronnie, Ronnie. I listen to my Ronnie. It's time for RonyiQ. Take a seat and go meet Ronnie. Sweet, 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 sweet Ronnie. No day complete without my Ronnie. She can't be beat. Sweet, sweet Ronnie.
Let's talk about it this morning. Yes, we're going to talk about it this morning. Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Let me cut this music off. Let me find this music. Did you see the coincidences that happened this morning? Did you see the coincidences that happened this morning? We're going to talk about the loud. We're going to talk about the loud parts. We're going to talk about everybody who talk about things that are not their fights. We're going to talk about people who talk about this isn't our fight. Let's talk about all the dumb motherfuckers who said what wasn't their fight. We're going to talk about the whole chocolate city being invaded by white supremacists. And these dainty men are averting their eyes away from white supremacists invading chocolate cities. As these dainty gay men avert their eyes, who's going to stand up for these black women? As these dainty black men avert their eyes as they don't see white supremacists invading chocolate city. Are we going to talk about this? As these dainty gay black men have no comment about the invasion of white supremacists in Chocolate City. Are we going to talk about this? No, these dainty gay men have nothing to say about these white supremacist men invading Chocolate City. Because these dainty gay men want to impress these white men. Because these dainty gay men want to be and to impress these white men so much. They want to emulate these white men so much. See, you have to be very careful of these gay black men. You have to notice when these gay black men are quiet as these white supremacists invade black communities, and these gay black men have nothing to say about it. Because we know that a lot of these gay black men are self-hating people. We are well aware that many of them hate themselves. We know many of them are concubines to these white men, and they're self-hating black men. Let's talk about it. Are we going to talk about it? We should really talk about it. Who's going to support the black community? Are we going to talk about it? Oh, nobody has anything to say? Oh, you guys are all quiet now? Oh, you guys are all quiet now? Nobody has nothing to say? Everybody wants to talk about the strong black woman. Where's the strong black man? Where's the strong black man? Where's the strong black man? The black man who always want to compare himself and compete with the black woman, the gay man who always want to challenge the black woman and uh, talk about beating up a black woman, talk about fighting a black woman, but run and hide and divert their eyes when it comes to a white supremacist walking through your neighborhoods. And now your eyes are diverted and your mouths are closed. You have no commentary, nothing to say about that. Where's the running your mouths Rodneys to say anything about that? Oh, you run from teenagers. Bitches like you run from black children. You cower from children. You fearful faggots run from that. You have nothing to say. That's why no one takes you seriously. We see you for what you are. Ugh. Did you guys see what happened in Washington, D.C.? These wet booty racists were walking all over D.C. Unfiltered, unchallenged by anybody in the alleged chocolate city. The alleged we so bad chocolate city was allowed to walk all over Washington D.C. unfiltered, unbothered by anybody, including the police. Now, does it always happen that this Patriot Front is always given police escort? Does it always boggle your mind how these white supremacists are allowed to walk through neighborhoods and given a police escort all throughout black neighborhoods? So, on the 250th anniversary of this country, we have seen exactly what it is given. Racists were giving free reign to uh, uh, try to enact terror and try to spell out that they want to terrorize non-white people in the United States of America. Uh, the dog whistle was blown in the United States of America on its 250th anniversary. And that's exactly what that was. That's exactly what that was. And every black person in Washington, D.C. sat on their hands and shut their motherfucking mouths and didn't say a motherfucking word. That's what happened. including the elected officials, sat on their hands and shut their motherfucking mouths and didn't say a motherfucking word. This is where America is 250 years after its inception, after people fought and died for freedoms. This is where Donald Trump has taken America. This is where Project 2025 and the NSPM7 has America. And you can trust and believe if there has been any counter protests, any counter protesters would have been arrested and charged as domestic terrorists. You notice that none of these white supremacists were arrested as domestic terrorists. Now, Laura Ingraham had the audacity to say that these white supremacists appear to be Antifa to her. What is Antifa? Laura Ingraham put out a post that these people seem to be Antifa because they were covering their faces. Now, how could these people be Antifa? Because these were all white people. The last I heard, that Antifa were people who were fighting for the rights of people who were not white people. But all of a sudden, Laura Ingraham wants you to believe that all of these white people that were covering their faces, supporting white nationalist interests, were Antifa. Because she knew how bad this looked. So she wanted this bad look to be equated to people who were fighting for issues supporting non-white supremacist issues. So she understood that this was a straight up white supremacist facing issue. She understood that what was presented was straight up white supremacy. And she wanted it to appear as something else. She wanted it to appear as supporting something that wasn't white supremacy. Bitch, this straight up white supremacy, anybody saw it as white supremacy. And you cannot equate it to anything else but white supremacy. And it was a protected white supremacy act that happened on the 250th anniversary of this country. This country, it was born and bred and still breathes and lives on white supremacy. Let's not get it twisted. And white supremacy was protected in Washington, D.C., in this country on its 250th anniversary. We are very clear on that. And all of these other laws and all of this Antifa and this NSPM7 is put in place to further protect white supremacy. All of this rescinding the protection of the what is this? All of this rescinding the protection. What is that? Protection of the rescinding. What is that? The temporary protection status for Haitian immigrants. That is to protect white supremacy. The TSP for the Haitian immigrants, that is to protect white supremacy. Because the white South Afrikaners, they didn't receive TSP immigration. They weren't brought here under the TSP status. The black Haitians got that. They made sure not to give the white Afrikaners that. So the white Afrikaners don't have to worry about that being rescinded, because so they are protected because they want to protect white supremacy. Are we clear about that? So America has proven that they are protecting white supremacy at all times. So happy birthday, America. You have proven that you are what you have always been, a nation built on white supremacy. What's that showing up? I don't know why that's showing up. Let's continue. Okay, let's get into this. Good morning. How are you doing? Thank you for being here. Please hit the like button. Hope you guys had a fabulous weekend. I apologize for how my show ended on Friday. It ended abruptly. I was out of town, and I was in the middle of a thunderstorm, and my show ended abruptly. I apologize for that. I did not say goodbye. The power shut off, so I didn't get to thoroughly complete my show, and I apologize for that. So we're going to try to get through this show today, and I appreciate you all for being here. If you hit the like button, I would definitely also appreciate you for that. So let me share my link with you, and let's get into some of this show.
Supreme Court decision has yet to be handed down. It might happen today. But I want to talk about what happened last week. The Supreme Court ruled 6-3 that the Trump administration can strip away protected status from 350,000 Haitians and over 6,000 Syrians who've been living and working lawfully in the United States under TPS, temporary protected status. In her dissent, Justice Kagan wrote, quote, "The evidence they've offered includes statements by the president so repellent and racially inflected that the majority declines to put them in print. The majority briefly replies that those remarks are not overtly racial, but it is hard to know what that means. Haitians are Black, Norwegians and Swedes not so much. The references of filth, disease, and primitiveness are shot through with racial stereotypes and tropes. It's hard to imagine the statements being made today of any white community. The statements fairly shout in their racial undertones and overtones alike that race entered into the president's resolve to remove Haitians from this country," end quote. And now I want to play a clip from White House Homeland Security Advisor Stephen Miller, who spoke to reporters right after the Supreme Court ruling. He's responding to a reporter's question on whether Haiti is a safe country for Haitians to return to.
For Haitians, absolutely. Yes. Yes. So yes, Haitians live in Haiti. It's not our position that Haitians should leave Haiti. I mean, it'd be crazy for us to say that Haitians couldn't live in Haiti. It's their country, of course.
Haitian is a failed state. Haitian is run by gangs. Haitian is not a safe state. It is a failed state. There's nothing safe about Haiti to be in, to live in. It's a failed state. So him saying that it is it's safe if you're Haitian, that's all you deserve. You deserve to live in a failed state. Your life deserves to be in jeopardy. You deserve to live in a nation that is ruled by young, crazy warlords and gang members. That is what he's saying. Okay?
So the State Department has issued a warning for people not to go to Haiti. And here they are sending perhaps, if they get their way, hundreds of thousands of Haitians, many who've lived here for decades. You extensively talk about this issue, whether we're talking about birthright citizenship, TPS, or stopping people from seeking political asylum on the U.S.-Mexico border.
Yeah, we have to name the devil that has us by the throat. Stephen Miller is a racist. He's a white nationalist. White nationalists have seized the federal government. Great replacement theory, right, motivates this immigration policy. It is, in fact, part of the justificatory language of the so-called legal decision or opinion that Justice Alito laid out. We need to call them for what they are. And in so many ways, this is an echo of the 1920s. Oftentimes, the United States, in order to secure its virtue, will say the monster is over in Germany, not understanding that the German monster was looking to the U.S. in the 1920s.
Explain.
So what I mean is that here is the moment. The Klan is reborn in 1915. Its basic motivation is rooted in the kind of nativism, a kind of true 100% Americanism, right? They want Nordic immigration, not those folk from the swarthy S-hole countries of Europe.
I want you to understand what he's saying right here. While they talk about Nazi Germany, Germany got their inspiration from the United States of America's racism. In the 1920s, the racism from the United States of America. That's where Nazi Germany got its idea how to perfect its racism. Pay attention.
Italians, the suspicious Irish papists and the like, they are really in so many ways, right, thinking of the country as a white republic. Their seminal piece of legislation of the Klan, the one that they claimed they were most proud of, was the Johnson-Reed Immigration Act and Nationality Act of 1924, which laid clear the quotas, keeping the country white. Right. So much so, 1926, the 150th anniversary of the nation, the Klan was approved to have its annual convocation, its annual convention, convocation, on the grounds of the Philadelphia Exposition. They're going to celebrate the American flag and its 150th anniversary and burn a cross at the same time. These people are the inheritors of that legacy. They believe the country should be white. And what we see with TPS, what we see with the immigration policies is an all-out assault, a twinned assault, Amy, on two fundamental pieces of legislation that changed the trajectory of the country. One, of course, was the Voting Rights Act of 1965. It's been gutted. The other, of course, is the Hart-Celler Act, Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965, which overturned the quotas of 1924 Immigration Act. This is a white nationalist agenda, and Stephen Miller and all of these folk are just simply rabid racist, and we need to call them for who they are.
And yet often Latinos are pitted against African Americans when it comes to immigration.
Right, and it has something to do with the proximity to whiteness. Baldwin writes about this in Search of Majority. You know, how can I put this? I say this in the book, that, and I'm using Derek Bell's language, Amy, oftentimes Black folk are at the bottom of the well. We function like gold to money. What do I mean by that? Because we're at the bottom, we now know what whiteness means. We now know what white racial hierarchy means. And so it's one's proximity to the bottom that everyone is trying to say, we're not them. And so there's a sense in which the way in which the racial hierarchy in the United States works, you have some folk who believe that some kind of being adjacent to whiteness will somehow, shall we say, protect one from its a more ugly implications.
As we begin to wrap up, Professor
Sure.
Glaude, what do you want people to think about this week as we move into the 250th anniversary?
Yeah, you know, first of all, let me just thank you for giving me so much time. I really appreciate it. And I'm so honored because I've been watching you for so long. And you just do such amazing work. What do I want? It's not complex. Oftentimes we think of these issues as complex. It's just like, you know, it's basic. You don't kill babies. You don't bomb innocent babies. That's not a complex political issue, right? This isn't complex. You got to make a choice. Either you're going to be a beacon of freedom, and we can debate what that means, or you're going to be a white republic. It can't be both. So just make a choice.
And finally, you have been researching this book for years. What surprised you most? Or you can talk about a few surprises.
Not just the repetition, the haunting. You know, Moses Gordon surprised me, the Klan. There's a piece in the North American Review published by the Grand Wizard of the KKK in 1926. Scholars are responding to the Grand Wizard of the KKK. Senate, Princeton professor in politics, rabbis from Jewish synagogue, W.B. Du Bois. And what you see are the parallels. The KKK Grand Wizard is saying, we can't teach our kids what we want. These folks are diluting America. Sounds exactly like what we're hearing today. And Du Bois writes a response entitled The Shape of Fear. And in The Shape of Fear, he says, the power of the KKK resides in its lies. And he argues the lies are choking the life out of democracy. And here we are in 2026, in the 250th year, drowning in lies.
Finally, you are a university professor. Do you think universities can recover, for example, when we're talking about issues of DEI, and explain what that is and what has been taken away?
Diversity, equity, and inclusion, the idea that the university should reflect the vast diversity of the population of the United States, that we should give people, no matter their class, race, or gender, or ability, the possibility to acquire a kind of capital to make their dreams a reality. They're spending all out assault on that. A lot of these universities, Amy, are using Trumpism as a cover to roll back things that they wanted to roll back. They're capitulating. They're the great, I call it in the book, the great capitulation. It's an echo of what Frederick Douglass saw when he saw the American Missionary Association suddenly finding itself in cahoots with those who were former slaveholders. He called them the apostles of forgetfulness. And here we are in this moment. So unless they find courage, unless they make a choice, right, we will have to bear the brunt or the burden of their decisions.
Thanks for watching Democracy Now! On YouTube.
Okay, you can hear his full interview. It is worth taking a listen to his full interview on Democracy Now! You will find that in my description box under It Is Written. They are saying the quiet part, and they are writing it in Supreme Court rulings. They are writing all of this shit as it is, and they are creating this as law. They are creating this as law. All of this racist type of shit. They are writing this into law in the United States of America in 2026. These unjust rulings based on race, as they allow white South Africans into America. This is what America is 250 years later. People marching with the Confederate flag, the flag of the treasonous flag being marched around Washington, D.C. with pride. In one of the exhibits for North Carolina, there was a Confederate, not one, but two Confederate flags put up in the display booth representing North Carolina. That is a treasonous flag. Treasonous to the Civil War that was fought, but they proudly had the Confederate flag flying in the booth representing North Carolina. Let that sink in as they talk about the patriotism of this country. 250th anniversary. And they don't even understand what the anniversary of this country even represents as they fly a Confederate flag. They only understand white supremacy. in this country. That's the only thing that they respect in this country. So let me share some more things that I wanted to talk about with you today. Since I am here, let me go here.
There is something about the celebration of the 250th anniversary of the nation that has these haunting echoes. The world doesn't trust us. It's not Trump. The American people put him in office twice.
Are the racists and the white supremacists of today the same as those who fought to instill racism back then?
J.D. Vance on July 5th, 2025, invoked blood and soil as the basis of American identity. I think Joe Biden is an avatar for the baby boomers. They wouldn't get out of the way.
You're right. In its 250th year, America, USA, is in deep trouble, and I cannot say with certainty that the country will survive. What do you mean by that?
We're going to have to deal with 7+ million people who have voted for Donald Trump over 3 times. What we need to do, and you do this with Zateo, is tell the truth with love, lit by rage.
If you live in the US, you may be conflicted about celebrating its semi-quincentennial anniversary. That's 250 years. On the one hand, it's natural to want to celebrate the country you call home, as do I. But on the other, you might not want the center of those celebrations to be Vanilla Ice dancing with Donald Trump on stage. This is not a unique feeling when it comes to this country's big anniversaries. In fact, from its founding to this day, every half-century celebration in the US has shrouded its divisions, its problems, and its struggles. My next guest wrote a book about those anniversaries and the truth behind their jubilee, which he says brought him to the brink of despair. America, USA, How Race Shadows the Nation's Anniversaries is the latest book from celebrated public intellectual Eddie Glaude Jr. The distinguished Princeton University professor's book takes readers on a self-examination of this country's history that will change their perception of its 250th anniversary. And he joins me now to talk more about that self-examination. Eddie, good to see you. Long time, my friend.
Oh, it's wonderful to see you, and congratulations on everything. Zateo is just an amazing news source. I really, really appreciate you.
Thank you. That means a lot. And your book is an amazing resource as we hit this major anniversary. And interestingly, it looks at every 50-year anniversary in the US. It dives into the ways each of them contributed to instilling what you call Storybook America and the attempt to reconcile this country as both a beacon of freedom, but also its origins as a white republic. What made you, Eddie, want to examine this contentious history in this very different way?
Well, Manny, because we're experiencing so much today. You know, there's something about the celebration of the 250th anniversary of the nation that has these haunting echoes, that there are these repetitions, that Donald Trump is unique in a lot of ways, but he's also, in so many ways, deeply familiar. And I was trying to really come to terms with how did we arrive here at this moment with all of the efforts around ICE and immigration, with the Supreme Court gutting the Voting Rights Act and the assault on Black voters and DEI and the like. So I wanted to say, you know, what happens in this moment when the country tells itself a story about its founding and its contradictions are in full view? And so, you know, I wanted to tell a 250-year history of the country without writing a book of the size of We the People by Jill Lepore. So I thought it would be best to just simply telescope it by looking at these ritual moments during the milestone anniversaries. And it just so happens that at each one of these periods, the country is exorcised by the vexations of race, by its contradictions. And so you get this story of haunting and repetition to help us understand our own moment.
And a lot of people might assume that your book was triggered by Donald Trump's return to office. But it's about a lot more than the racist sentiment of one man or one administration. I mean, I assume you would be writing this book regardless of whether Trump was in office or if we had our first black female president right now.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, think about it. In 1876,
Now, this interview is also linked to my description box. I just wanted to give you just a little peek on where America is right now when it deals with race. Racism and race is a big catalyst in where America is right now.
I give the floor to the representative of China. You have the floor.
Oddly enough,
Madam President.
Oddly enough, we also had something about race that came up in our Supreme Court. It was about birthright citizenship, and the Supreme Court upheld birthright citizenship. If you were born in the United States, you are considered to be a United States citizen. And a lot of people were upset about the birthright citizenship. And Trump himself wanted, he actually did an executive order erasing birthright citizenship. He wanted to say that if you were born in the United States, you automatically did not get U.S. citizenship. And then who did you have come out? Stephen Miller came out. And it was last Friday that they were suggesting that the U.S. shouldn't even allow people to visit the United States who were pregnant. It was even suggested that they shouldn't have people who were able to get pregnant to be able to visit the United States. They were talking about people coming to the United States on pregnancy tourists coming to the United States. Oh, just this past weekend, it was so much crazy talk about pregnancy tourism to the United States. Until what? Until this past weekend, there was a foul in a FIFA match where an American got a foul in a FIFA match. And it happened to be an American who was fouled in a FIFA match. And it was a black American FIFA player. He was fouled and he was not going to be allowed to play in the next game. And then who intervened and sought out the head of the president of FIFA? You know, the same president of FIFA who is such a corrupt simp that granted President Trump the FIFA Peace Prize because President Trump was bemoaning the fact that his silly ass, his unworthy ass didn't get a Nobel Peace Prize. So then this simp chair of the this simp who is over the FIFA sporting event gave him a FIFA Peace Prize, some fake gold encrusted FIFA Peace Prize, some non-existent prize he came and put around his neck. Your president called him and said that our U.S. soccer player should not be banned for 1 year from all of the matches. Now, come to find out that the reason that this black soccer player was allowed to even play for the United States of America because technically, this soccer player is Nigerian, but his parents was visiting the United States from Nigeria, but his mother, they were visiting. His mother was in her late stage of pregnancy, and when they visited the United States, and when they got ready to go, she was told that she was too far along in her pregnancy, so they would not allow her to leave the United States because she was too far along, and they told her she must stay in the United States. You know that thing that Stephen Miller was so afraid that pregnant women would come to the United States and they would have their babies here in the United States, and oh my God, these non-white babies would become American citizens. That's what happened to this black Nigerian a football player, this black Nigerian soccer player. That's exactly what happened. But guess who was protecting this black Nigerian soccer player and saying that FIFA should not penalty this soccer player because he was on the United States soccer team? Make any of it make sense? You mean to tell me that the president of the United States was going to bat for this soccer player, this anchor baby soccer player? Your president was going to bat for an anchor baby? Yes, he was. Your president went to bat for a Negroid anchor baby? Yes, he was. Now the whole world is in uproar that Donald Trump went to bat for a Negroid anchor baby. And when Donald Trump went to bat for this Negroid African anchor baby and got the suspension overruled, now the Negroid anchor baby is allowed to actually play. He got the suspension overturned. He did some crooked ass shit, and now all of a sudden the suspension is overturned. So which one is it, Stephen Miller? Stephen Miller, how do you feel that your own president went to bat? So is a rule a rule? Is a thing a thing? Is a thing a thing? What about all of these people who were talking about this pregnancy tourism? But it's okay if they're winning soccer matches in FIFA when America is hosting and the anchor baby is on the American team. Is that what we're doing now? Is that what we're doing? This shows you that these people are not serious. That's all I'm saying. Everybody else is an anchor baby until they are playing on the American team, and America is advancing in the World Cup. That's why I'm letting you know these people are not serious about any of the shit that they talk. That's all I'm saying. If you guys didn't know about that, this is what's going on in FIFA. You can't take these people seriously. If you guys didn't know about that. So let me play.
So apparently we found the vandals. Let me show you guys right here. It says firework cleanup at Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool this afternoon.
They had a whole lot of firework cleanup. The fireworks that they set off created a whole lot of additional soot in the Lincoln Memorial Pool. They found.
You've been following the story. Vandals. Basically, Trump was on and on about how there's vandals at the reflecting pool, etc. And it seems the biggest vandal is Trump. This is actually the cleanup. If you don't know, it was like this massive fireworks display, and debris fell down, and it's like everywhere. And so it looks like they had to close it off. It's all fenced off. Dangerous explosive, authorized personnel only. Okay. But that's what it is, right? And then they're going to go on TV and say, guys, we found the vandals. And so the question I'm going to be are you showing this video? Let me see.
You've repeated that vandals caused the damage. The president has repeatedly claimed that vandals cut a 350-foot gash in the pool. That's a claim that's echoed an illegal filing by your department. What specific evidence do you have to back up that claim?
Well, we have the actual cuts that were made into the industrial liner, and that's been measured out. So that's just a fact that's what we've got to go back and repair.
There's a 350-foot gash?
Well, it's multiple gashes that add up to 350 feet across that. And again, some of this happened early on. There was where.
Let's be real clear. It's not, your president did not say that there were multiple gashes. Your president said that there was a 250-foot single gash. And then, suddenly, the 250-foot gash became a 350-foot gash. And let's be real clear that there is a two-time Olympic rower, I believe he is, who has been arrested along with 7 or 8 other people, accused of creating a gash to this reflecting pool. They're lying.
We installed more cameras. I mean, we weren't expecting that we were going to have a small group of people that wanted to try to destroy effectively what is part of the Lincoln Memorial. There's plenty of cameras around the Lincoln statue and around the memorial. The reflecting pool had gone for decades without vandalism, but now we've got cameras up and we've got more.
But now that we hired inept and unexperienced worker, and we overpaid them, and we have no excuse for getting this money back. Now all of a sudden we have vandals at the reflecting pool. After 250 years of this, nobody vandalized. Well, not 250 years. After all of these years that this reflecting pool has been here, now all of a sudden we got vandals at the reflecting pools because we overpaid a vendor to try to hide millions of dollars that we took out of the treasury and just try to say that this is what it costs to resurface and revitalize the reflecting pool and to take hundreds of millions out of the treasury to make you believe that that's what the cost was going to be to pad pockets of whomever we felt like padding, and not refund the money when it was a subpar job that was done, to not do what any regular person would do, get a refund from a bad job. No, we did not ask for a refund. We just continued to pay somebody who did a subpar job and not ask for a refund, because we were going to keep that money that we paid for a subpar job. So therefore, we just decided to grab people off the street and call them vandals and blame the subpar job on innocent civilians, and put innocent civilians in jail for us hiring somebody who did a subpar job, so we can keep hundreds of millions of dollars that we took out of the treasury. It is simpler to just grab people off the street and accuse them of crimes that will have them in jail for up to 10 years. It's easier to do it this way than to give money back. We're trying to keep money. We're trying to keep hundreds of millions of dollars. It's easier to grab innocent civilians off the streets and put them in jail for 10 years. Why would we give hundreds of millions of dollars back? And it's easier to get this asshole to come on TV and cannot even enunciate the alleged crime that we are accusing innocent people of committing. It's easier in the year of 2026 for him to bring his dumb ass on TV and not in this era of us mass surveillance to positively say that yes, this is the 2026 when we are connected to Elon Musk, we are connected to Palantir mass surveillance operations. It is so easy for us to say that we are connected to mass surveillance operators and we have them on camera committing these crimes, but we can't say that. We cannot easily say this. We have Palantir in all of our government operations, but we cannot simply say, "Oh, we can easily prove this crime because we have them on camera doing it." No, but we cannot say this. Okay, let's continue.
On it, and we'll we have to, that's part of the job, part of the Lincoln Memorial. There's plenty of cameras around the Lincoln statue and around the memorial. The reflecting pool had gone for decades without vandalism, but now we've got got cameras up and we've got more eyes on it, and we'll we have to, that's part of the job of the National Park Service, the U.S. Park Police, is to protect our monuments, and so we're in better shape now. If anyone were to do something now, we would have better video evidence of that.
But you don't have video evidence of people making those gashes.
Well, we do have video, and we do have eyewitness reports, and that's up to the courts now. So that process will go forward in the legal system.
So you don't have the evidence.
We do have it now. We'll have better evidence now. We'll have better evidence now. As in we did not have it before, but we'll have better evidence now, which means that they're telling you they don't have the evidence.
And so we totally do. It just happens to be in the courts right now. I can't show you. So I do want to have an honest conversation about this stuff. Are there vandals going after the pool other than Trump, who I guess is dropping firework debris everywhere? They were running this on Fox News. This is the evidence. I want you to see it for yourself, see what you think.
Left party poopers, and Primetime's got the tapes. The Department of Interior gave us a look at individuals suspected of vandalizing the reflecting pool. Now, we haven't been able to verify the video, but take a look. June 19th, a male, blue shirt, reaches in, stays there for a little while. He goes back down, comes back up multiple times. What's he doing? Then a female, white tote bag. She reaches in, needs a better angle, sets the bag down, dives in a little deeper. And we don't know who these people are. No one was stopped or.
But what's your point? Jesse, what is your point? Jesse, what would be your point? When you notice what is going on also in this picture? You notice also what is going on in this picture, that they have hazed over the actual color of this picture. And you notice as they zoom out in this picture, the reflecting pool color is not shown in this picture. But as they zoom out in this picture, you also notice that the pool is already green. So how are they trying to show you that these people who are bending back down in this already green picture, these people are doing something to affect the color of this pool? How do you know that the pool is already green? Because as they zoom out, you can see the workers who are already in the pool trying to clean the reflecting pool because it's already full of algae. You see the algae workers in the fucking pool trying to clean the algae from the pool. So they haze over the already green pool. So when they highlight the people, you see the grass behind them is green, but the area that is not highlighted, you don't see the grass is green. But when they in the highlighted area, the grass suddenly becomes green. But you know that they don't put the highlight nowhere near the water, because you would see also that the water is green. This is Fox News for you. But you do see the people are working in the algae, the green algae pool to get the greenness out of the pool.
Questioned by police, so no arrests. And we don't have the police report yet.
All right, so that's what Fox News was running. They showed this like really zoomed out image, so you can barely see anything, and they couldn't verify. There's no police report. What were these people doing? I don't know. No one was questioned. Like it's just they run these innuendos, and I'm just laughing because like who the heck falls for this idiotic stuff? Now, sadly, there are people in the USA who fall for this stuff, but I'm just showing you what it is. And then this Burnham guy's got to go on TV, Burgum, and see what he has to say here.
I just want to ask you about one other potential issue here. In May, the president's armored motorcade of SUVs, which can weigh up to 20,000 pounds, drove across that new coating of the reflecting pool's floor. Could that have damaged it?
No, I was with him when we came that night. He didn't take the beast. We were driving in a Cadillac Escalade. It is one of the presidential fleet of cars, but substantially lighter than what you're talking about. And at the time that we were there, they were still putting down the whole base level of this industrial rubber layer was not yet completed. And so there was no damage that night whatsoever. That was one of the questions we asked before we even brought.
So we definitely have video evidence. You saw it right there. And then this guy's got to do the dance. This whole thing is just ridiculous. But this is who the Trumpy people are. I just like to show you guys. And it's always fascinating to see this stuff. I always ask my wife about this stuff, like what do you make of these things, And she always says the same answer. It's like, it's not every day you see people just blatantly lie and just like.
That's amazing. No, you don't understand. I lied aggressively. What qualifications did you list? Technical SEO, AI automation, advanced analytics, full funnel strategy. What's the problem?
Oh, there's that. I also want to show you this, and this is kind of a funny thing I was thinking about, like, how do we think about the Trump people behind the scenes, the stuff that you don't see? Check out this. I think it's going on something like this.
ChatGPT, we got a problem. What's the problem? I got the job. That's amazing. No, you don't understand. I lied aggressively. What qualifications did you list? Technical SEO, AI automation, advanced analytics, full funnel strategy. Do you possess those skills? I possess confidence. What happened today? It's my first day, and they want a technical SEO audit in SEMrush and an LLMS.txt file, schema recommendations, and a competitor gap analysis by the end of the day. That's manageable. For who? Open SEMrush. Okay, it's open. Run a site audit. There's too many buttons.
So I promise you that's what's going on behind the scenes with the Trump administration. You saw right there. Basically, these people are liars, they're unqualified, and then they're asking AI to help, and then they're getting like Elon Musk AI, and then you get where we're at. There's too many buttons, right? Here's another look of what could be going on with the Trumpers. Check this out.
Resume that you are proficient in Microsoft Excel? Yes, I am definitely super proficient in Excel. Great, can you prove it? I beg your pardon? Right now, can you actually prove you're proficient in Microsoft Excel? Here's a computer. You want me to open up Excel right now in front of you and prove you actually know how to use Excel like you claim on your resume? Yeah. Okay, I would be happy to prove I can use Excel right after you pay me. Excuse me? Yeah, if I'm gonna do work for you, you're gonna have to pay me. No, I'm just talking about like a sample. Yeah, and if you would like a sample of work, I would like a sample of salary. No, I just want you to prove you're able to do the work. Totally understood. And if you want me to prove that I can do the work by doing a little Excel, I would like you to prove that you can pay me to do the work by giving me a little money. Well, we obviously are able to pay you, and I am obviously able to use Excel. Well, what if you're lying about being able to use Excel? What if you're lying about being able to pay me? No, what if you say on your resume that you can do Excel, but then we hire you and you can't actually do Excel? What if you say in this interview that you can pay me, but then you hire me and you can't actually pay me? But then by the time you're in the office long enough for us to realize you can't actually use Excel, we'd have already gone through the trouble of onboarding you, and then we'd still have to pay you for all the time we spent getting you onboarded. And by the time I'm in the office long enough to find out that you can't actually pay me, I'd have already gone through the trouble of getting onboarded. There's no reason for you to think this company wouldn't be able to pay you. There's no reason for this company to think I lied on my resume. Oh, really? Well, what about the part of your resume resume just below where you claim to be proficient in Excel, where you also claim that you're a Native American military veteran with a degree from Harvard Business School, which is actually my alma mater that I would have been at the same time as you, and yet I have no memory of ever seeing you on campus. Oh, I can easily explain all that. You can? Yeah, right after you pay me. Okay.
So I thought this one was particularly good because it represents the Trump administration.
Okay. There's that. Let's go here.
Welcome to the show, This America.
These links will be in my description.
250 version. This episode 978 of I Doubt a Podcast. I'm your host, the overheated
America 250 event, and
I'm glad you call it that.
Yeah,
his Freedom 250 event.
Well,
Freedom
it was. There was
250.
no attempt to make it bipartisan.
Yeah.
There was no attempt. They don't want to do that. This is for Trump supporters. And that's why you saw that it was very sparsely attended, this so-called state fair on the National Mall. Every clip that you saw, there was very few people out there. July 4th was different. There were more people. What is strange, though, is Donald Trump, you know, he loves to talk about crowd size because that's the primary thing that motivates him, is seeing people out in front of him that like him. And even though he's president at America 250, this is going to be in the history books, you would think that he would be filled up by that. He still took time out of his speech very early on to lie about the crowd size.
There's no way we can be deterred.
Now, he said that there were 440 some thousand people in the crowd. He initially said that there were, I believe, something like 500,000 people in the crowd. And then they had to shut it down because of the thunderstorm. But 150 people were allowed to come back. And are we going to talk about how the Trump supporters did not follow police orders? They did not follow the orders of the Secret Service. Are we going to talk about how this almost turned into another January 6th event when Secret Service and the police were telling these MAGA supporters to leave the venue for their own safety because there was a thunderstorm, a lightning storm happening, and these people were yelling and screaming at the Secret Service and the police officers and breaking out into a USA chant and refusing to leave and rushing back to the stands and all of this January Sixers bullshit that they were doing instead of leaving for their own safety. Are we going to talk about the fact that there was no air conditioner for these supporters, and that 7 of these supporters wound up having to get rushed away from this venue and wound up on extended life support machines? Extended life support machines. Are we going to talk about that? That people, that they cared so little about these supporters, that 7 of these people that wound up on going to this event had to be rushed away, and that they are on extended life support because there was no way set up and thought about to cool these people off. And then suddenly on the 4th of July, there happened to be some picnic tables set up at this event. And then suddenly on the 4th of July, you saw buckets of waters finally set up in the grass area of this event. And you saw none of this type of stuff set up until people were put on life support, because none of this had been set up at this venue, where they funneled away over $125 that was funneled away from the initial venue that was supposed to have this event, America 250, the original venue that was supposed to put on this America 250 venue for the 250 celebration. Then Freedom 250 actually stole this event and redirected money into their own personal coffers by putting their rerouting donations to their personal checking account via changing the routing number and account number to Freedom 250 checking account. Are we going to talk about any of that? Is your for-profit media going to tell you that checking account and routing numbers were changed, possibly possible wire fraud, and that 7 people are now on life support system because they didn't even have the wherewithal to have any cooling station, zero air conditioning at any of these events, any of these stations, no water station, only bought and paid for water was available for these people. It's reported that 7 people are on life support systems. That's called heat stroke. We're going to talk about any of this? No. We're not going to talk about any of this. We're going to talk about that picnic tables were finally bought out after people have been put on life support systems. No. Your president want to talk to you about crowd size. Fake crowd size. Let's continue.
And they estimated they had 375,000 people before everybody had to leave. And they now have 150,000 people. It's the craziest thing anyone's ever seen. At least. And I want to just thank you. And I feel so badly about some people. They left and they couldn't get back. But you're very special people. And we have a very special country. Thank you very much.
You know what strikes me about this is the fact that he's using the exact same language, you're very special people, that he did about the insurrectionists when he was forced to give the scripted remarks after he sat for like 3 hours, 4 hours, doing nothing in the midst of the attempt to end democracy in America on January 6th at the Capitol. And he came out and he's like, you're very special people. We're all very upset.
No thoughts and prayers for the people who are on life support. No, nothing for them.
That about the election being stolen, but you must go home. You're special. We love you. It's the same kind of talk.
Well, and the parallel, yes, is very accurate because there was essentially an insurrectionist vibe, I guess, on the National Mall. And you heard Trump say that, you know, before people had to leave and come back in, right? There were 375 people before people left and then came back in. And he's referring to the fact, not the heat index being over 110 and the dangerously high heat. There was also a severe storm that was coming in. And I just want to review some New York Times reporting before we play this clip to show you the insurrectionist mentality that came out of people here who started fighting with the police. This New York Times reporter writes, it is a chaotic scene on the National Mall as several hundred people refuse to leave despite an order to evacuate because of severe storms approaching. An officer is sternly repeating the evacuation order over a bullhorn, and the crowd is booing. Many have begun chanting, USA, USA. One man blamed the situation on, quote, liberals in the weather service. I think this is baloney.
Was that Marjorie Taylor Greene disguised as a dude? Because that's very weather controlling conspiracy theory nonsense.
Yeah, you know, liberals in the weather service that are bringing the storm forth to the National Mall. Yes.
Yeah, it is. So is the New York Times, are they asserting that MAGA isn't back the blue?
Oh.
Are they trying to pass over on me, Donald Trump's most fervent supporter, that we in MAGA aren't thin blue line supporters?
You know, I think that they only back the blue when it is a cop shooting a black person in the back who is running away. I think that's the only
Of course they are.
Time that they're supporting the police.
How about if a cop kills a 1-year-old before even questioning the mom about the
Well, of course, that's when they are in support of the cops as well.
allegations that many refute now about the shoplifting charge in Mississippi. What about that?
They would probably, they'd probably say, you know what, that was a complying.
That's
issue.
So it's about
they
compliance.
should have listened.
So if you comply,
with the cops, the mother should have complied. They were right for shooting at the mother. The mother didn't comply, but comply when you tell us to leave a Trump rally because of the thunderstorms. You're wrong. USA.
you should always just comply with the police.
It's confusing though, because that's not what they were doing. And there's videos. There's many videos of these people not complying.
When you're black, you should just comply. But when you're white, you have leverage. Just comply. It's depend on your skin tone. If you should just comply. Everybody knows that.
Ladies and gentlemen,
You see all this complying that these white people are doing in their American flag gear. All these people with their patriotic clothing on. Do you see all the complying with the cops that is going on here?
please continue moving towards the exit in the same manner.
There's people that have been standing outside for 10, 12 hours. What is the
These people have been standing outside for 10 to 12 hours, and you want them to comply? We're not going to comply. What are you talking about? We're not. You understand how long we've been standing outside? We're so stupid. We've been standing outside for 10 to 12 hours to get into this Trump rally, and you want us to leave? And for our safety, because it's a thunderstorm? What are you talking about?
Think about this. Ask him. Send him an email.
We already have.
Right? He's your boss. Exactly why we care about you.
You guys have been lying to us for years.
All right, folks, if you could continue to move towards the exit, we'd appreciate it. Thank you.
I also really love, like when you said they were chanting USA, I love that's some kind of it's like screaming fuck you to a cop or fuck the police. But for MAGA, you just scream USA over and over and over. And that's supposed to be some kind of an own or a win.
Right. Well, and even asking what does the president think about this? He doesn't care about any of you.
Right.
They care nothing about what anyone was experiencing on the National Mall. There was dangerously high heat for days. The heat index, again, like I said, over 110. And they had set up these kind of mock buildings that kind of looked like buildings that you would find in downtown DC along the National Mall, and they represented different states. And none of those facilities were air conditioned. No air conditioning on the entire mall.
Also, did you see some of the prices for the like $20 sad, weird hamburgers and like I don't think it was 30, but it was near $30 for a turkey leg. I mean, it made regular actual state fairs look cheap.
Yeah, and we're also actually learning about a new type of fraud that was involved in this too, because you have two different entities that were set up. There was America 250, which is a congressionally chartered initiative.
Yeah, like a decade ago that was set up for this time, for this moment.
And then you had one that was called Freedom 250.
And that was Donald Trump's grift organization.
Right. And apparently there are whistleblowers that have come forward to allege that they were explicitly steering money away from America 250 toward Donald Trump's Freedom 250, including accusations of giving routing and account numbers that directed funds for donors to Trump's initiatives. And those donors now say that they were, fooled by this. And so this is like theft. This is like,
fraud.
Bank fraud, where they're just explicitly taking the money, and it didn't go to the air conditioning. It didn't go to providing free concessions to the American people who wanted to come and celebrate.
Or even water fucking fountains.
Yeah, even water fountains, even water bottles,
Listen,
some sort of cooling system.
As you've said, we went down there. We went down there in the middle of the afternoon after I recorded my YouTube show, and It was a desolate ghost town. There was a music act on stage while we were there, and there may have been 14 people in the audience. I actually scanned across with a camera. We'll throw that on B-roll right now if you're watching on YouTube. It was, now some of it is the heat, absolutely, but a lot of this is the fact that the majority of Americans don't want to take part in a MAGA rally. And all of the stage time was given to like Glenn Beck and Monica Crowley and all of these prominent figures in conservative MAGA world. This was not in any way, in any shape or form, a unifying bipartisan event.
Yeah, and that was evident in even the way that Donald Trump spoke. So he said he would speak no matter what. He didn't care that crowds were having to be evacuated because of the severe weather threats, both the heat and then the thunderstorms and the rain. He said that, you know, he was going to wait for the storm to pass in his comfortable air-conditioned area with a buffet while everyone else had to be, chartered out into different places where they were taking shelter from the rain and the thunderstorms. And he spoke, and it's important to highlight the tone and tenor of this speech, which was very divisive. Again, attacking his enemies, talking about how he's going to run for a third term. It was truly what you come to expect, but it's alarming because this was supposed to be a celebration of America, which includes all of Americans. Instead, Trump wants to celebrate.
Trump is deranged. Trump is a deranged lunatic, much like his followers.
Never will work.
Yeah, oddly enough, on Donald Trump, on the
never worked, and it never will work.
Yeah, oddly enough, on Donald Trump, on the notion of someone wanting to take our freedom away, Renee Good and Alex Preddy were not available for comment to respond to Donald Trump's claim that some other nebulous, secretive, shadowy force is out there trying to take Americans' freedoms away. After all, they were
After communism.
We vanquished fascism. Americans stood against the evil of communism in the Cold War. And as they said last night at the beautiful Mount Rushmore, what a beautiful place, where Washington, Jefferson, Lincoln, and Theodore Roosevelt loomed over my shoulder as I spoke. America will never be a communist country. Won't happen. Communism is a loser.
Now they're stuck on this communist bullshit. Now they're so afraid of the people that Zoran Mondani had endorsed, one in New York City, that they're stuck on this communist bullshit. Most people don't give a fuck about the moniker communism. This isn't the Red Scare anymore. Nobody gives a fuck about these titles about communists, but because most people are paying attention to the message that these candidates are giving about affordability. You know, the thing that your president says that is a fake, that is a made up word that does not even exist, that something is something that the Democrats made up. That is what is winning the day, not the scare of communists. No, nobody gives a fuck about that. And if you did not hear, the progressive candidate in Michigan, who was running for the Senate seat against another Muslim candidate that they were trying to scare you because he was Muslim, that they were giving him all of these tough questions. Well, do you believe that Israel should exist, in all of these questions about Israel? And when he kept just turning the question back around about what he was going to do for the citizens of Michigan, what he was going to do for the citizens in the United States, his opponent has stepped down from the race, and when she stepped down from the race, she said she is going to support the candidate in the race. She didn't fall into all of the motherfucking hate baiting and rage baiting. She said she is going to support the candidate in the race. So, all of this communist shit. We have another Muslim who is they're gonna try to scare you with, who has knocked out his progressive Democrat opponent in Michigan, who is sure to be he is going to be running against the Senate. What is it? The Republican Senate Senate opponent in Michigan. That they're gonna try to scare you that he's a communist as well. Also, keep your eye on all of this communist talk. All of this is some scare tactics to get you to not vote or vote for these racist Republicans, to not vote your interests.
And it always will be. The communist system is the opposite of the American system, and the communist system has never worked. Our warriors did not fight communism on battlefields across the world, only to have that menace rear its ugly head right back here in America. We're not going to let it happen. We'd like to stop a threat like that immediately and before it begins. Just like a cancer, you got to cut it out. You got to cut it out fast.
It is two things here. One is they're afraid. They're very afraid of progressive policy.
Oh, yeah.
That's all this is.
Oh, yeah.
The other thing is he did something that's really not even very sly unless you're dumb, and that is use fascism and communism in the same sentence.
Mm-hmm.
When World War II was fought against communism or against fascism by the communists and the capitalists, the USSR, who withstood or suffered the highest levels of casualties in World War II and really did the lion's share of the work to win the war against the Nazis, they were fighting with us. They were the allies. Now, Stalin and the history of the Soviet Union is replete with torture and concentration camps and murder and genocide and terrible shit. But fascism is not communist. It's just not. It's not. And they're stupid, and they know MAGA is stupid that will believe anything the dear leader says.
Hold on, let me get back. Let me. Hold on. Let me get back to this.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Bear with me.
Ladies and gentlemen, please continue moving towards the exit.
Hold on.
There's people that have been standing outside for 10, 12 hours. What does the president think about this? Ask him. Send him an email. We already have. I'm sure he's your boss.
Let me get back to this. Here we go.
I give the floor to the...
Here we go. This is where I want to be. I apologize for that. Now, let's see how Iran, they held the funeral for the supreme leader, his daughter, his son-in-law, and his granddaughter, and another family member. The supreme leader, his daughter, his son-in-law, and his granddaughter. Now, over millions of people showed up for that funeral. Now, understand that this is in the middle of a desert where millions of people showed up for their funerals. Were people falling out in heat strokes as millions of people were crammed up against each other in these actual deserts where the temperatures were over 117 degree heat? Did they have poor planners planning these funerals, getting paid out of the treasuries for money to make sure that they put most of the money in their pockets? Was this about making profits for people, making profits and not caring about the people who were showing up to pay their last respect for their leaders, and nobody cared about the actual people who were showing up? No, that didn't happen. They had water sprinklers out there to mist the people who were showing up. They had people out there giving food, passing out waters. This was a whole different operation that happened in Iran. So let's see what happened. Now, there was a lot of dignitaries that showed up on the first day. There were representatives from China. There were representatives from Saudi Arabia that showed up. Now, your president was quite shocked that there were all of these dignitaries that showed up. Your president was quite shocked at how many Iranian people and how many dignitaries that showed up to show their respect for the supreme leader. Why was your president so shocked? Because your president is a stupid motherfucker. Your president was taken aback. He didn't understand that so many people held the supreme leader in such high regards, because he thought that the supreme leader was the actual governing leader. He didn't understand that the supreme leader was the religious leader and not the governing leader who created policy. No, this was the religious leader. So he didn't understand by striking Emboldened that this was the one who led them in their religious dealings, and not the political leader, who was the one who clamped down on political policy. So your president is stupid.
The deranged occupant of the White House has finally admitted that he miscalculated on Iran and his decision to assassinate Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Speakers and mourners at the funeral of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei today have called for Trump's assassination. Israeli terrorists have bombed southern Lebanon as their war criminal leader prepares to visit the White House. Israeli savages have also murdered another baby, this time in the occupied West Bank, by blocking access to medical care. Anti-Israeli Democratic Senate hopeful in Michigan, Abdul El-Sayed, gets a boost to his campaign after a sudden suspension of campaign by one of his rivals. London police have arrested more elderly protesters for opposing a genocide. We look at the capture of the UK institutions by the genocidal Israeli lobby. This will be the broad focus of my video tonight. Also in this video, rogue FIFA further disgraces the game of football by revoking a red card against a US player so that he could play against Belgium in a key match. So please stay tuned. This delusional fool from the White House, Donald Trump, today expressed his shock over the gathering of millions of Iranians for the funeral of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Trump said that he was shocked and surprised by the massive crowds of millions of people mourning at Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's funeral. In an interview to the Axios website, he admitted he had severely miscalculated the leader's standing as he said, and I quote, "I thought people hated him," end quote. Israeli lapdog Trump also said that his country was capable of eliminating Iran's surviving top leadership, all in one shot. His words, not mine, as they gathered for the funeral of late Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. However, he clarified that Washington would hold fire because, according to him, we would have nobody to negotiate with. This is the reason why he is holding back his urge to commit another episode of mass murder. His statement came as millions of Iranians continued to pay their respect to their leader in Tehran. Many speakers demanded Trump's assassination to avenge the killing of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei.
کسی که کشت امام مرا چرا نکشی که ننگ ماست اگر قاتل تو را نکشیم از این به بعد کفن جای جام بر تن ماست قسم به خون تو قتل ترامپ گردن ماست.
What the speaker here was saying was this: whoever killed our Imam, why shouldn't we kill him? He is our disgrace. If we don't kill your killer, from now on, a shroud will be our garment instead of a coat. By the blood of yours, the killing of Trump is on our shoulders. End quote. Mourners also carried posters expressing a similar
American people, we don't have problem with you or problem with your government. Your government attacked our country and kill our super middle, kill one most historic great person and kill very children in the Minab. We never start war in the world. But if you start war, we stand and fighting with you.
But the highlight of today's service was the presence of the loved ones who lost their little angels in Minab, where an American missile led to the massacre of more than 168 small girls and dozens of their teachers. This reporting by Sky News today was quite powerful.
In the streets around the mosque complex where the funeral is being held of the Supreme Leader, there are a number of side events. This has to be the most moving. It's a kind of makeshift memorial to the 120 primary school children killed on the same morning when American missiles hit their school in the south of the country in Minab, and a number of 26 teachers were killed and a number of parents. Now, some parents have been brought here as part of this event, and some of them we filmed and met when we went to Minab 6 weeks ago. And I've been asking them whether coming here has helped ease their pain at all, or whether actually it's just brought it all back.
The cruise missile attack that destroyed the school in Minab is one of the worst mass civilian casualty incidents in US military history. We found a town deeply traumatized, whose families spend every night still at the graveside of their children, struggling to come to terms with their loss. The spirit of that place seems transported to Tehran this week, on the sidelines of the Ayatollah's funeral. We had met Razia and Ali Zara'i in Minab, whose 10-year-old daughter Atare was killed in the strike, and found them again here. How does it feel to be here?
I'm here for my daughter and say goodbye to our leader. My heart beating very, very fast. It's hard for us to see this picture without our daughter. I wish that she was with us here, but
You wish she
not
could be
here.
with you?
Yeah. I miss her very, very much.
The families of 20 of the dead children have made the long journey to Tehran. To mourn, they told us, but also to demand justice. Masuma and Mustafa's daughter, Satayesh, also died that day.
My message is that the children were innocent. They didn't have any sins. Their only weapons were pencils and erasers. What was the crime they were killed for?
The Iranian government has made national heroes of the dead children and used their tragedy in their information campaigns in this conflict. The horrific nature of their deaths, though, has provoked genuine nationwide sympathy and outrage. Abdul Rashid's 9-year-old daughter Zahra was killed. His younger son Mohammed is still recovering, badly burned in the American missile attack.
Coming here revives memories of that day because our kids were martyred together with the Supreme Leader. And we are not here only for the funeral and bidding farewell. We're here seeking blood revenge.
4 months after the Minab atrocity, we've been told that the US military report into what went wrong there is now complete, but the Trump administration has still not published its findings.
Israeli terrorists bombed southern Lebanon once again in violation of the MOU and the US brokered peace deal between Lebanon and the settler colony. Today, war criminal Netanyahu spoke about his next meeting with his slave in the White House. According to reports, this meeting could happen next week or the week after. In the UK, more people have voluntarily offered to be arrested by the London police outside their Scotland Yard headquarters. They were arrested for their support to the Palestine Action Group, which was proscribed by the Labour government as a terrorist organization. Mind you, thousands of protesters have already been arrested in the past for supporting the Palestine Action Group and opposing a genocide. This was the scene outside the Scotland Yard headquarters in London today. Speaker after speaker, some even in their late 80s, continue to show their public support for the Palestine Action Group, despite knowing that this would lead to their arrests.
They are arresting all of these old people, and for us in London, in England, for just speaking out against what's going on in Palestine. Listen at this. Listen at this. This is deplorable. Just watch this.
My heart goes out to the suffering people of Palestine. In Gaza, where there is still a genocide, unreported now, of course, and in the occupied West Bank, where homes and villages and towns are being razed to the ground and sold off, can you imagine it, to people, some in this country, to buy, to judicize the whole of the land between the river and the sea, regardless of the fact this is Palestinian land. So what can I do at my age and my frailty? Very little. I do what I can to support the Palestinians. And one of the best things that I can do is to support the organization known as Palestine Action, because they have been brave enough to, some of them, smash up the weapons that are producing the genocide. So I ask you too to support Palestine Action. Join me.
So, with no megaphone, I would like to say,
once they say anything about Palestine Action, you will notice the police will come in and arrest them.
Saving lives is not terrorism. Destroying murderous weapons is not terrorism. I oppose genocide. I support Palestine Action. I encourage everyone to support Palestine Action. Together we can save many, many lives. Join me in supporting Palestine Action.
They say that if you say anything about supporting Palestine action, you are saying you are supporting terrorism, as they support all of the terrorism that Israeli is inflicting upon the Palestinian people with this genocide that they are inflicting on the Palestinian people. But to say something about supporting Palestinian action is supporting terrorism.
I will keep it short. I'm a big fan of Palestine Action. I think they're really cool, so I support them. And I'm a member, and I encourage absolutely everybody to do the same.
So you're under arrest, you do not consent to pay public defense, you do not listen to
Just make sure you're close enough.
Opposing genocide is not terrorism. Saving lives is not terrorism.
I need 2 extras of your level 3s, please.
Not terrorism.
And one more here.
Opinions that government do not like is not terrorism.
Go there. One more, please, because he's on his own.
I encourage you to become a member and to support them too.
Just jump to one side. Let's move away from it. Thank you very much.
Many have raised questions on the growing influence of the Israeli lobby in key British institutions. To understand just how deeply the Israeli lobby has infiltrated the British institutions can be understood from last week's shameful controversy at this year's Wimbledon Tennis Championship. This was after Turkish tennis star Zeynep Sönmez was banned.
Now, this tennis player, she was banned from playing. She was banned from, I forget. She was banned from playing. She wanted to wear. She's a Palestinian player. She was banned from playing if she wanted. They wouldn't allow her to wear a pin, and she put a little watermelon pin on her tennis racket, and they banned her.
Banned by Wimbledon authorities from sporting a Palestinian pin. The world number 51 and Turkish number 1 player used a specialized equipment loophole after her explicit request to wear a pro-Palestine pin were blocked by the All England club. She later used a watermelon-shaped vibration dampener to the strings of a racket to bypass the ban. But this is another example of how key British institutions are now being seen as supporting a genocidal entity. This is what she said on the controversy, and I quote, "I used to wear a pin. Tournaments no longer allow me to wear it. We had a discussion with the organizers because the Ukrainian flag is allowed, but Palestine is not. They ultimately told us they definitely would not allow it. I can use the vibration dampener and they can't object to that. That's why I put the watermelon symbol on my racket." Mind you, this Grand Slam championship was quick to ban Russian players, Daniil Medvedev and Aryna Sabalenka in 2022, just because Russia had invaded Ukraine. Of course, the Wimbledon organizers were later fined a hefty penalty and even had to withdraw their disgraceful order for subsequent tournaments. And yet, despite the UN calling Israeli atrocities in Gaza a genocide, the Wimbledon has refused to ban any players from the settler colony. Wimbledon tournament director Jamie Baker has astonishingly defended the double standards by labeling the war in Ukraine a unique scenario. Baker stated that the tournament's pro-Ukraine stance was an individual situation tied directly to to government guidance and international response, effectively arguing that some political stances are sanctioned by the club while others are not. But why blame Wimbledon alone? Even the British Museum has now erased the term Palestine from its archives. Watch this video by Middle East Eye to understand the shameful action and their lies to justify this disgraceful step.
The British Museum made false claims about why it removed the word Palestine from displays. A Middle East Eye investigation has revealed internal emails show the terms Palestinian and Israelite occupation were also erased in direct response to months of lobbying in 2024. When asked at the time, the museum and its director flatly denied this. My colleague Lucy Anais reported in February.
I've come to the British Museum here in London to check out the exhibition behind me, after it sparked controversy after removing the word Palestine from some of its displays. The museum told us the term is no longer considered neutral, and it had opted for more historically accurate language.
The museum had added that the changes were based on audience testing. However, a Freedom of Information request reveals no such testing occurred. The term Palestine was removed due to private and public complaints by
So, British museums has removed the word Palestine from museums and lied and said that it was due to public testing, when in fact it was removed because of private requests. This is why it is important that we stop financing, our government stop financing these wars, these illegal Israeli wars, because all of this private money from rich people that are funding into these American campaigns to do the bidding of people who want these extreme things done on the behest of these Zionists. These Israeli Zionists is stunning. That they will remove the word Palestine from museums. You have got to understand that this shit is totally out of control. They are removing the word Palestine out of museums on the request and lying about it. And we are living in this day and age, and nobody's talking about these things. This is going on as it is A-OK. And these people experienced a Holocaust themselves. And they are committing the same acts that were committed upon them. This is the irony of it all. This is the irony of it all. Fuck these people.
Israeli organizations and activists, not impartial focus groups.
This is how pro-Israeli lobby groups are destroying key UK institutions in collusion with a compromised group of politicians. Many believe that the UK too is in desperate need to have a similar anti-Israeli movement that we are experiencing in the US. We saw the victory of 3 anti-Israeli candidates in the Democratic primaries in New York, followed by the victory of Melat Quiros in the Colorado Democratic primary. Now, Mallory McMorrow's decision to suspend her campaign in the Senate race in Michigan has given a massive boost to Abdul El-Sayyed's chances in the Democratic primaries against the AIPAC-funded incumbent Haley Stevens. This is what McMorrow said while announcing her decision to suspend the campaign.
Today, I'm announcing that I am suspending my campaign for United States Senate. And I'm doing it with a deep, deep sense of gratitude for our thousands of volunteers, for everyone who donated what you could, building a campaign with 0 corporate PAC dollars, for my staff who built this team up from nothing. I thank you. for my family, for Ray, who believed in me long before I ever believed in myself, and for Noah, our 5-year-old, who presses her hands up against the window to wave goodbye every morning when I leave for work. Remember, Mom, she reminded me recently, it's not about if you win. It's about trying hard and having fun. She's right. So I want to be very clear about what this announcement is not. I may be suspending this campaign, but I am not leaving the fight. I never planned on politics. After the 2016 election, I felt lost. I picked up my phone and I typed 5 words into the search bar: how to run for office. And here's what I learned. When regular people get in the fight, things can change. In my very first election, we flipped a district against the incumbent. 4 years later, with so many of you, we flipped the Michigan Senate for the first time in nearly 40 years. And we didn't stop at winning. We repealed Michigan's abortion ban. We raised wages. We made sure every child gets breakfast and lunch at school. We made it easier to go to college. We expanded civil rights, voting rights, and so much more. These wins took thousands of us, showing up every single day, refusing to give up when there were setbacks. That's why I'm staying in this fight and why I need you to stay in it with me. Now, I haven't been shy about calling for new leadership and a better Democratic Party. I mean it. The energy is there. People are crying out for change, and we owe it to them to listen. Then we need to build it up together from the ground up. So here's what we do next. Every day through November 3rd, we win this Senate seat, and we send Mike Rogers back to Florida for good. Whoever wins this primary on August 4th will have my full support. Then let's elect Jocelyn Benson as our next governor. Let's flip the state house and expand our majority in the state Senate. Let's elect Democrats up and down the ticket and show the rest of the country what it means to fight like Michigan. 10 years ago, I started this work heartbroken, typing 5 words into a search bar. And I learned the only thing that has ever really changed this country: ordinary people who love something enough to fight for it. I love this country. I love Michigan. And I love the little girl who waves at me from the window every morning, trusting the grown-ups to leave her a state and a country worth inheriting. That's who I'm fighting for. And I'm not going anywhere. I hope that you'll join me.
El Sayed, as expected, praised her clean campaign.
Hey friends, Abdul here. I just learned that Senator McMorrow has decided to suspend her campaign. I just want to say to her, her family, everybody involved in that campaign, her supporters, thank you for the work that you did for democracy. Our democracy runs on people putting in that kind of effort. None of a question, despite our policy differences, whether or not Senator McMorrow would show up to fight for my daughters and hers. But the question to all of us now is this: are we willing to allow AIPAC, big corporations, Chuck Schumer, to show up and rig our democracy, to choose who our Democratic nominee is going to be? They spent $30 million to drown her out. Now they're spending millions to attack me. This is all in an effort to cherry pick from Washington, D.C. or New York who gets to be the Democratic nominee for Senate from Michigan. I think we get that choice. So I'm asking everybody who supported her to support us now. Our movement is one of joy about the future we can have when we get money out of politics, put money in your pocket, pass Medicare for all. And for all the folks who've been with us all along, thank you for everything. But right now is the time to double down. So if you haven't made that contribution yet, this is the time. If you haven't done that shift that you've been thinking about doing, now is the time. It is us, the UAW, Bernie Sanders, AOC, the nurses, working families, against the oligarchs, big corporations, AIPAC, Chuck Schumer. We know we can win, but we need you.
I will now leave you with another example of rogue FIFA's brazen corruption. This compromised, genocide-loving and racist body has now gone a step further to destroy the beautiful game of football by sensationally suspending the one-match ban imposed on an American player during their match against Bosnia. The FIFA said it was suspending the ban for 1 year to allow Folarin Balogun to play against Belgium in the round of 16 match. I have not seen anything like this in my entire life. I've never seen the governing body, the topmost governing body of a game, deciding to brazenly change the rule to help the host country. No wonder Trump is thanking the FIFA. He is thanking FIFA, understandably or seemingly, for doing exactly what he ordered them to do.
Tonight, the fallout growing from this controversial call. Leading scorer Falorin Balogun given a red card for a hard foul. The Stars and Stripes defeating Bosnia-Herzegovina, now advancing to the next round of the World Cup. The refs reviewing the moment Balogun appeared to go for the ball, but ended up stomping his cleat down on the opponent's ankle. The high-level penalty resulting in the player's immediate ejection from the current game and suspension from the very next game they play. The team's coach.
So he was supposed to be suspended from the next game. Thank you, FIFA, for doing what was right and reversing a great injustice. President Donald J. Trump. Donald J. Trump said that he called the head of FIFA and said, no, that wasn't right. That was a wrong foul. You should reverse the foul and let the black anchor baby play in the next game. Donald Trump. When did Donald Trump, who had the best referee in FIFA, was not allowed to come to the United States to referee in the FIFA tournament because he's a racist, and the best referee in FIFA history was not allowed to come to the United States because he's a Somalian. Donald Trump, who wanted to eliminate a birthright citizenship with an executive order, and now he is pumping up somebody who would have lost his citizenship to the United States in that executive order because he would have fell under losing his citizenship due to birthright citizenship because his mother had him in the United States because she was unable to leave the United States because she was a Nigerian and she was forced to stay here to have her child because she was too far in her pregnancy to leave the United States. So that's what the only reason he was born in the United States and is a citizen of the United States. Don't you find this all odd now that Donald Trump is refereeing FIFA tournaments? Let's continue.
Saying Balogun is disappointed.
For me, never is a red card. That was a normal action in football that happened because by accident, and it's never intentional.
According to FIFA rules, there's no way to appeal.
Returning to the World Cup, some breaking news to bring you from there. Sky News understands that FIFA has suspended the one-match ban for US star Falorin Balogun for a year. So he is eligible to play in the last 16 match against Belgium on Tuesday morning. He scored the third goal of the World Cup to give the US an early lead against Bosnia-Herzegovina on Wednesday, but he was sent off in the...
So this anchor baby will be allowed to play for the US against Belgium. So once again, Donald Trump is making the United States look bad. He's making the U.S. Look like they have to cheat because we know that the U.S. has to cheat to win. And speaking of making the U.S. Look like they have to cheat to win, you may be interested to know that in other news about making the U.S. Look like they have to cheat to win, one of the bigger or more important things that is going on with America looking like they have to cheat to win, the people in Trump's orbit are whispering in his ear that Trump should...
The deranged occupant of the White House has finally...
Trump should call some type of an emergency and declare that there is some type of an emergency to suspend the elections, to suspend the midterm elections. Did you guys know that they are trying to suspend the midterm election under some guise of some type of emergency? Let's get into that. Shall we? Trump now blaming the referee. Now Trump is blaming the referee. I didn't know that Trump is blaming the referee. Maybe Trump wouldn't have had to blame the referee if he had let the best referee in FIFA history come to the United States and referee the actual games. Let's go to Aaron Paranis. Right.
Good morning, everyone. Lots of news to cover this Monday morning in what's shaping up to be an extremely busy week. On one hand, we have the Smithsonian, as the Trump administration has released a new report detailing changes it wants to make to Smithsonian museums in an effort to rewrite history, specifically in the Museum of American History. On the other hand, the world is erupting over what many perceive to be Trump pressure on FIFA to suspend a red card given to Folarin Balogun, the U.S. men's national team star player. And well, this morning, UEFA, the European Soccer League, is calling FIFA out, saying the decision was, quote, incomprehensible. We have massive news out of Iran. Millions of people took to the streets in one of the largest funerals in American history. Close friends with Trump are pushing him to declare a national emergency this week over the upcoming elections. And Italy is not happy. Once again, Italians are upset with Americans as Trump calls for the restraining order.
Now that's what I want to get to, the national emergency. Let's get to that.
Belgium today was granted the right to appeal FIFA's decision down. What we learned, and by the way, Trump officials are bragging that the, quote, Trump card was played here. Howard Lutnick and those, he's the Commerce Secretary, and those in and around the Trump administration pressured FIFA on multiple occasions over the past week to try to reverse the red card decision. And here's the thing. I watched the game. I'm sure many of you watched the game where Balogun got the red card. I don't think that a red card was warranted. But the question is, should the host country be putting this much pressure on the governing body? And that's an answer that many around the world are saying should not happen. But it's not just what we're doing with FIFA. Italy today is erupting over this post, where Trump said a restraining order was needed with him and Giorgia Meloni. This is now on the front page of Italian newspapers. Many of my followers in Italy on social media have reached out to me saying that this has caused a lot of problems because it comes hours before Trump is scheduled to attend the NATO summit in Turkey. He is supposed to be meeting with Meloni in this NATO summit in Turkey, and now U.S.-Italian relations are crumbling. What's interesting here, though, is that if there's any country in Europe right now, especially after Viktor Orban's loss, where Trump would have sympathy on his positions, it would be Italy, as Giorgia Meloni is a far-right leader. And yet these attacks on Meloni have brought the Italians together in solidarity with her, which is a very interesting development. It comes as here at home, with the election upcoming, close friends of Trump are pushing him to declare a national emergency over the elections. Peter Tickton, who was previously Trump's lawyer, spoke with CNN today and in a wide-ranging interview insisted that he had evidence proving claims about the 2020 election and that they would become public soon, asserting that Venezuela, China, Iran, and others were all involved and that evidence would emerge from the administration's capture and indictment of Maduro. Quote, with the evidence that we've got and with the evidence that would be forthcoming, there will be no question about it and what these machines did. It's a surreptitious overtaking of a country. What they're pushing Trump to do is to declare national emergencies over the elections, to seize the voting machines, and to essentially federalize elections. That would almost certainly be unconstitutional, but with the Supreme Court and the conservative majority, anything is possible. Now, I have been saying for a long time that the capture and abduction of Nicolas Maduro may lead to the spread of many of these false claims about the election. And we're seeing it happen right now in real time. They're going to allege that Venezuela was somehow involved in stealing an election from Trump in 2020. They've done it before. And now with the president in office, they're prepared to do it again. They're also prepared to change history. quite literally rewrite history. A new report from the White House on the Smithsonian shows that, quote, any proper telling of American history should, as the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. noted, explain that the goal of America is freedom and bring our nation back to those great wells of democracy which were dug deep by the founding fathers in their formulation of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. According to the findings from our months-long investigation, that is no longer what visitors encounter. Instead, the museum, referring to the National Museum of American History, confronts visitors with materials intended to undermine faith in American institutions and the long-standing shared ideals of the American people. As the report shows, the museum purposefully presents America as a problematic country irredeemably conceived, founded by deeply flawed men and still operating today as an instrument of systemic racism and oppression. In the museum's current telling, the country is, above all, defined by white supremacy, slavery, conquest, exclusion, hierarchy, racism, xenophobia, misogyny, and systemic injustice. To the extent there is a story told at the Smithsonian's National Museum of American History, it is not one of the victory of freedom and genius of our country, but one of regret, tragedy, and shame. This report from the Smithsonian is setting this, or from the White House, is setting the stage to essentially change the way Americans receive history and what history is to many. Quote, the report concludes that the Smithsonian Institution, in the National Museum of American History in particular, under its current leadership and current interpretive ideology, cannot be trusted to tell America's story honestly and in a way that is inspiring, unifying, and worthy of our great republic. By the intention and at the direction of current museum and Smithsonian leadership, NMAH, Museum of American History, has become subject to institutional capture by a radical activist ideology that is fundamentally opposed to telling the noble, honest story of the great country we know and love. That right there is setting the stage for a takeover of the Museum of American History, which is supposed to happen soon, where they will essentially try to change history in real time. We'll ultimately see what happens. And finally, we have major news out of Iran, where this is where the Iranians are doing during a protest, during a funeral for the late Ayatollah in Tehran. They're throwing rocks at an image of Donald Trump, and they're doing it as there have been calls to kill and assassinate Donald Trump in response to the killing of the late Ayatollah by the United States military. And so that's where we're at this morning. It's going to be a very busy week, to say the least. We're going to have news from Congress. We're going to have news on elections. We're going to have news on NATO summit, which I'll be covering very closely, especially as in recent weeks, we've seen reports that the United States has been trying to degrade Americans' involvement in NATO as much as possible. And so we'll see what happens. As always, if you can, make sure to like.
Wow, that's a lot. Go over to my description box. This is in my description box. It's under election fraud. Aaron Paranis of that link is shared in my description box. Now, we know that those Dominion voting machines, Trump has always said that he hated that he didn't seize the voting machines in 2020. That was one of his greatest regrets. Hey, Barry Carey, thanks for being here. If you guys like the video, tap twice on your screen. All of these links are in my description box. We know that they want to federalize the elections. We know that Trump has been coming out here claiming that the election was stolen in 2020. We know that he has offered absolutely zero proof. We know that he understands that he will be in jail if the Democrats win the midterm elections, and we know that you cannot put anything past Trump and these sycophants that he has in his administration this time around. So, like I have always said, I am very skeptical if we will be having any midterm elections. And 9 times out of 10, it does not look like we will be having any midterm elections. That is my opinion. So let me show you one more link. I'm going to show you one more link uh, of the services in Iran. When you fucked up and you thought that you were going to bring a whole nation to uprise against their government, and this is what happens. Oh, okay. So, does it seem like they're making sure that these people that are in this desert, in this heat, are they making sure that these people are cooled off? Are they making sure that they take care of the people who are in this sweltering sun, are taken care of, unlike those dumb MAGA supporters that were sitting out there having heat stroke at that fucked up fair, that they were making sure that rich people were pocketing millions of dollars? Huh? 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 So, what do you think that the United States have created in the nation of Iran? What do you think that the United States have brought to bear down on us? What do you think that this idiot Trump has brought to bear down on us? Following Netanyahu by telling him that this is going to be simple. What is going to be the cost that the United States and these dumb MAGAs have, the cost that is the United States is going to have to bear? Him telling you that the Iranians did not like their government. Did they not like their government? What is the United States going to have to pay? After you hear them saying that the killer of their supreme leader is going to have to pay. Do you think that they're going to be careful about who's around their supreme leader when they try to get their lick back? Do you think that they're going to try to be careful about American citizens when they try to get their lick back? I'm just curious. I'm curious. Because this is the same America that is having the Saudi crown prince buddy with their son-in-law Jared Kushner, the same Saudis that blew up the twin towers, that have the Saudi crown prince sitting up in the White House rubbing his knee. Yes, Trump sitting up talking about he's going to hold his hands. He don't care where his hands went, after talking about how Jamal Khashoggi was chopped up in little bite-sized pieces. After your CIA said that the crown prince had Jamal Khashoggi's blood on his hands. But he gave Jared Kushner $2 billion for his private business. So your president shook MSB's hands, and he said he didn't care what was on his hands. Do you think that any of these people care about the Americans who may get in the way of them getting vengeance against Donald Trump? Let's continue. Even better yet, do you think Donald Trump cares about any American that may get in the way? No, Donald Trump think that he can pardon off something for some cash to get himself out of the way. Do you think that he care what happens to you? He think that he have some little bargaining chip, something that he can sell off. Do you think that he gives a fuck about your life and safety? As he tries to brand and sell off anything that he can for a piece of silver or gold? This is what we're dealing with today. Why is his hand closed and raised so important? Why is this so important? They actually did a fireworks display with his hand in a fist held up. Because when they found his body parts, the supreme leader's body parts, they found his fist clutched in this position. And they took it as his fist being clutched and raised in a power position. And this is something that they are raising in a martyr, in a position of power. This is how they found his body part. And they are saying that he was martyred. And finding his dead body part. And they are holding this up as a position and as a memory, as a something that is a statement of power. Be real clear on what this represents. They had a whole fireworks display of his hand being lit up in the fist as a fucking display of power. Do you think that these people do not have a fucking real plan, that they are not planning to enact power? We have somebody who is playing not chess, checkers. This motherfucker is out here playing hopscotch with some of the most intelligent minds in the world, some of the greatest scientists in the world. And we have Dementia Don out here asking questions of all of the dummies around him. Some of the silliest bitches in the world are advising your presidents, while we have some of the greatest scientific minds in the world over in Iran plotting against America. All right, guys. I hope you guys have a fabulous remainder of your day. Go to my main live for today. Go to the live that is not on your that is not broadcast on your phone device, or go to the regular live that is broadcast on the live stream. Be sure that you shop the devices. I have things that you can save your water in. I have solar generators that you can purchase Do not think that this war is over. This war is about to pick back up. Our strategic reserve of oil are almost depleted. Gas prices are expected to double. Your president has no way out of this war, and prices are about to skyrocket. Your president has not been obeying anything that is in this memorandum of understanding. So understand that they are putting a lot of boots on the ground. So this thing is about to go haywire. Do not find yourself unprepared for what is obviously about to happen. So this is a unserious person. They are getting all of their boots on the ground. So make sure that you prepare yourself and your family. So that's all I have to say for today. If some breaking news come across, I'll see you guys tomorrow. If not, I will see you guys on Wednesday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, unless there is some more breaking news. I just wanted to give you guys some news for the day. The white nationalists have taken over. They feel comfortable and emboldened, and our black men are out here silent. Our black men are out here entertaining bullshit. Okay, so I thank you guys for being here, and I hope you guys have a great remainder of your day. God bless you. Good night. Hey, Madison, it is good to see you as always. Have a great day. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.